just because they got Aurelia. I'm going to go with Absolute Legends because I think they've been playing very well of late, and I think they're going to be happy with them builds. I mean, they've got a good jungler. They've got the AD carry that they're always happy with. I'm not too sure about Volibear, but Ari in the mid as well is going to be very good. I guess it's going to be down to how quick and whether Ocelot can get fed on LeBlanc, because it's all about needing to stack up and snowball with LeBlanc. I was fine.
Actually, now that you're saying it, I actually think it's quite funny because they all got the heroes they're used to. Kenny on Tristana, Ozan, LeBlanc, Sleeper on Ashe, Cynic on Janna, and so on. The only difference is that Angus got Volibear and Kevin got Aurelia. And I know that Kevin plays a bit of Aurelia, but he's not the best Aurelia, and Angus, I'm sure he's not the best Volibear because none of them actually plays those champs quite a lot, you know? But else everyone got the standard champs they use normally.
Okay, so nothing unusual looking like it's being bought out at the start. Obviously, they always get specced out. Anything crazy out there? Well, we've got Regrowth Pendant on Maokai. You did look at him. I'm guessing he's got the usual, 15 AP, etc.
Yep, it's pretty standard. The only difference is that Volibear actually got armor early game, and if he pushes his lane, he's probably going to get screwed by Maokai. So he have to let Aurelia push and just stand back. He cannot push that lane as he's in great danger.
Well, it's looking like Nif's going to get caught out here. Nif's got straight in and he got flipped straight away by Angus, and he's definitely going to be first blood. That's an easy first blood and a bit of a mistake there. It's just on his own from the team as well.
That was pretty amazing. Angus froze him back right after he flashes just because it's... I don't know if it's intended or if that's actually broken, but Nif flashes and then Volibear just throws him back because the throw is already in action. I think that's actually a bug, but I think it's pretty funny.
So who actually picked up the first blood? It was Rammus. That's not ideal. Although, I don't know, a quick ganking tanker's not too bad.
I think it's going to be pretty good because if they can get a gang on Ocelot, Ocelot is going to be pretty pissed, I think.
Well, speaking from experience, I guess there, and he's going straight in as well. And Maluna, look at that! You can see the aggression. They're feeling confident already. They find themselves a present. That's just clearing it out from the wraiths. So immediately, Maokai can't start them wraiths.
Yep, and that just screwed Maokai up. Like the entire first blood, Nif getting caught, that just screwed Maokai because Nif got too slow into the water and he didn't get to his position in time. Normally, you have to guard all the entrances. It's because he didn't do that, they're so far behind at this point.
So he's going to need a bit of help. Angus is of course taking the blue out. I mean, how do you stand with the ganking? Because you guys often don't have Snoopy going towards the top in the ganking, I've noticed. He tends to either go down the bottom or the mid. You don't tend to come up to assist gank you. You're sort of more happier just pushing and farming?
I think the thing is that Snoopy doesn't like top lane, and he don't really want to gank my lane. No, I don't know why. I think maybe he just wants me to have a harder challenge or something. He just doesn't want to gank my lane.
Maybe he feels you play better that way.
Even then I'm crying for ganks, he's like, wait for a few minutes, I'm ganking bottom, and then after a few minutes I'm ganking middle. I'm just chilling out here, so it's all good.
But he does a fantastic job of ward clearing. That's one thing I've noticed. He's been very good at that. So this bottom lane, I guess it's going to start laying out. They did get the golems to start with. It's kind of become the standard practice. Quick volley shot down there, but what are you seeing at the top here? I mean, you can see obviously it's starting to take the skills up. How do you think this one's going to play out?
The top lane?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know yet. I think that if Volibear pushes like he's doing, he's going to be in great danger, as I already said, because he got cloth armor. He can run. There's no way he's going to run from Aurelia, but he also have a bit of an advantage to Aurelia because he got a bit of XP because of the kill early, and because he pushes, he levels faster, so he can kill her at that point. Plus, he got cloth armor, so he's a bit stronger.
Ganking mid, they were trying to go for Ocelot, but he manages to get away from that one, so we'll keep our eye on Rammus, who actually goes straight back in, flash taunt as well, but that's not going to be enough, but it's going to be send Ocelot straight back, and immediately it's also going to send Maokai back, because he wasn't sure whether he was going to come straight round for the raid, so it's affecting Maokai every bit of the way.
I think the Rammus gank here was worth it because, as you see, Ursula is pushing the lane hard, or the creeps are pushing alone. And Ursula is actually losing a whole creep wave or more because of this, just because all his creeps are killing the creeps. As you see now, Mark is setting up for gank top lane because he got cloth armor. This is so scary. If the enemy guy buys cloth armor, you should always just constantly gank him on top. He cannot escape.
Yeah,
he's getting rooted by Maokai, and he barely escapes, it seems. He's running away, but he's getting flashed on, and he's almost going down, but he flashes away and survives.
And the question is, can Ramos help out? And down the bottom, actually, as that was all happening, I noticed that Ash again went back. Oh, they actually go back towards the top. You can see Angus is going to get in there. I think Angus is surely going to go down this one. Maokai possibly will go down, but Maluna's going to have to work out to get away from this one. I think the minions just working against Kevin's favour then and there. But 2-1. And, well, exactly like you called it with Volibear. He's just, now he's got boots.
And now he's in a safe position. He doesn't buy a ward, but that's okay, because having a ward against a Maokai, you'll get to run back a bit earlier, but you'll never get away, because Maokai just got a root from a long distance. You can't really run from him. It's so hard to run from him. I really gets taunted on the tower and loses half his HP. That's pretty good of Ramos. And she will probably have to base soon.
Yeah, Volibear's going to come back to a nice big fat stack and farm that one up. But what I was about to say, down the bottom, I noticed Slepper had actually gone back and taken the second golem set down the bottom, obviously because Ramos was out ganking. Is this something that you guys always communicate between yourselves? Say, because I noticed in the game against Absolute Legends, you were pretty much taking out the red, the golems, etc. Throughout probably the second half of the match.
I'm not sure how much bottom communicates it, because I don't really listen much to that. Because I don't need to listen to them at bottom, because our middle is having action. Extinct is going down to Oslo, and Oslo kills him. But Oslo is getting taunted by Ramos, and he's going very low, but he just gets away easily. But as I was saying, I don't really listen to bottom, so I don't know what they do, but I know that I always go like, Snoopy, can I take your golems? Snoopy, please, I want your golems. And Frog is like, Snoopy, I just take your raves, go somewhere else.
So Snoopy's like, yeah, great, now I've got nothing to kill. And again, look, that's the third time they're taking the golems again down the bottom there. It's just, it seems to be a regular occurrence here. Obviously, Ramos is having to cover off in the mid, which is probably why he's doing it. Volibear again having a bit of an exchange with Kevin at the top there. And Angus, I'm not too sure how confident he's feeling. He has been back once. They're both very low there. But, I mean, how do you think this one could play out when they start leveling? And obviously, Kevin's a little bit behind. He did get the kill. Does he actually know? Yes, he did get the kill. He didn't get the assist. I mean, this is going to level up. And really, is there anything particular you're seeing in the builds at the top?
The builds are quite the same. And as Angus is out of mana right now, he
he's
can't
dead.
really do much, but they're fighting right now. But I'm not sure if Kevin will go down here, because Angus doesn't have mana to kill. If Angus had just a tiny bit of mana, he could press W and just be like, eat. So that's not going to happen.
But he did blow flash, which is a pretty big important thing, which is immediate Ari as well and Ramos both invading, looking like they're going to take the raids out. Oracle's already on Ramos, so he's going to be checking out. And let's just have a look what Ocelot's going to do. Is he going to react to it? No, oblivious to it. And Maokai's going down the bottom as well. So warding the Tribush down the bottom. It's steamed pretty even down the bottom there, 54 to 55 between the two ADs. Obviously, we also have Ramos looking like he's going to have a gank towards Aurelia, but Aurelia's already porting back.
Also, another thing you can notice, Top, is that Angus just lets the creep wave push right now, and he waited for Aurelia, just trying to let her think, oh, you can stay here and stay here, but she actually loses more because she waited so long, and the creep wave is just pushing, and she's losing creeps all the waves. She probably lost 1.5 wave or more than that.
Just trying to freeze it up there. Let's have a look. Blue buff is being taken, so I guess Ari is going to go across there. You can see Ocelot's trying to bide his time. It's going to kind of make it obvious that he's going for blue in a minute, which is why he's just sort of delaying whether to go there. Ramos is effectively going to take it himself if he doesn't hurry up. We have Maokai trying to get a gank down the bottom there. CV's just gone down, so we've seen Ari picking up the blue now. But Maokai, there is no ward placement at all from the bottom lane. And that's actually something I've noticed you do. You don't ward often in that river because you just tend to rely on, especially with Gangplank, you tend to rely on the fact that, well, I can get away from this. Oh, they're going for Dragon.
Yeah, they're going for Dragon. I'll talk about that after this Dragon fight.
Yeah, so let's have a look. And I got to be honest, I'm not too sure whether Absolute Legends are going to be able to do anything about this. They have a 4-man stack here, although he's going to have to pile out. So they've peeled out. They're going towards Ramos, trying to do a bit of damage to him. He's going to back out quite happily. And yeah, they've actually... I think they could have took that. They've kind of backed out. I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure if they could, because Ditron lost quite a lot of HP, and Ale didn't lose any HP, and they could just go in afterwards. But the thing is, Maluna bought an early Oracle, so the SK needs to punish him for that. But the thing with Gangplank why I never buy wards is because mostly after level 5 or something, I never die to junglers. The only problem I get is then I get ganked from the mid lane mostly because it's just so annoying. If an AP comes top, you almost get instant bursted, so I depend more on Froggen's ward than my own ward, to be honest.
Okay, I'm just keeping my eye. Ari is now taking the red buff, so Extinct's invaded. He's got Rammus with him. And yeah, oh, Maokai, if it had just gone up north, he'd have spotted it. And Aurelia was also there, so that's going to be a 3-man invade. This is something we've started to see more and more. Oh, Maokai's going to go head-on straight into a 3-man gank. That is going to be a very one-sided fight. And that was a quick chunk of gold, and it went to Anguish as well. So top lane Aurelia's not going to be thankful for that one. Meanwhile, you can see LeBlanc looking like he's thinking, should I go down bottom? No, it's all going wrong for me. Yeah, and he's not gonna go for it. But I mean, top lane now, he's obviously got the red buff. As an Aurelia player, you've done it time to time. How do you feel when you just seen your top laner get a gank, get red buff, and you're just like, oh well, thanks.
Well, if my enemy gets a red buff, I'm going to be like, what are you doing, guys?
Bottom lane, they just dived. Bottom line, oh, he's just about managed to get away from the ignite there, Zinek. Just about surviving. That was a full-on dive down the bottom lane. Sorry, back to what you were saying.
No problem. But I start whining about it. I get annoyed if someone just gets a free buff or someone. Or if Snoopy ganks my lane and he dies ganking my lane, or I die because he ganks my lane, I get really annoyed about it. And I think that's also why he doesn't like doing it. Anx actually initiates on Aurelia, but Aurelia is bow
top lane gank. Top lane gank, they're diving in towards Kevin. He actually baited him in there. I think he's going to be able to just get a taunt on. Yes, he will do. Rammus ulti goes down. Angus surely going to be able to finish him off here. I think Rammus will get the kill, and it will be Maluna that takes it. Meanwhile, in the mid, that conceded LeBlanc has gone back, and Extinct is having to force Maokai to pop his ulti there to defend the turret. So this is going very much in the way of Absolute Legends, and I think, quite sure whether they've got enough to take that turret down. I think they might have a good go at it, but I'm not too sure they'll finish it off before the wave goes.
No, they won't get the tower, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Right now, they also just gathered the creeps. No, he's just going to continue pushing. Never mind. They pretty much want this tower now. They just want to get some map awareness, and then after they get this tower, they can get a free dragon if they just go, or make sure they get a fight for the dragon. I think that's why they're trying so hard to get on.
Okay, bottom line's just picked up the golems again, but LeBlanc has snuck into the bush at bottom lane, and is now following his way through. But definite tower dive going to come through Ocelot here. It's a case of whether they manage to get anyone. We'll try and bait them out. I think they might do. They don't have any wards. They have no idea they're there, but unfortunately they're going back, so Ocelot could be wasting his time. Will he go out enough? No. No, they realise it, but Rammus is there. Rammus is going to spin up behind them. This could go badly wrong with some Absolute Legends. Now they're going to hawkshot. Yeah, now they immediately back out. See, Ocelot is there and back straight out of it, because it would have been definitely SK's dragon if that fight would have backfired. He's tried to pop into all Slepper there. You can see Maokai, meanwhile, in the river. He's trying his best to bait out, but there is a ward there. Yeah, and they're well aware of it. Aurelia now coming south, so this is definitely setting up for a dragon here.
Well, I don't see what AL can do to stop this dragon. Sleeper have to base. They're going to be 3 versus 5. I think what they're just going to do is be like, fuck the dragon, we can't do anything. Maybe try and steal the Maokai. Or not the Maokai, the jungler. But that's it. They're not going to do much about it because they simply can't. The dragon's going to die too fast. They'll try and steal it maybe.
Yeah, and you can see Maluna going in. Oh, the Ash Arrow just went through to try and get it. It wasn't enough. Janna ulti had to be used to try and blow them back. I'm not too sure. Yeah, they're going to give up on that one. And Monsoon was just enough. Extinct just harassing for absolutely no reason. I'm not too sure what he thought he was going to pick from it. You can see Angus actually trying to come around the side there. They're going to harass and try and get this blue away from SK. And it's actually forced SK to back away from the blue buff. They may give up on it. They're all at full health though. There's no reason why they should.
SK, I don't think they can fight because there's a lone mana. All of them are very lone mana. They're not going to be able to fight this, and they're just giving it away because they already got the dragon. They don't need the blue buff right now. They don't need it.
So, gold-wise, you can see Absolute Legends with the slight advantage. They've got a 1k advantage. Down the bottom, you can see the CS is pretty much even. In the mid, it's very even between the two, 79 to 60. So, actually, tell a lie, that's Ari, because Ocelot's been down that bottom lane for quite a while, but that's leveled straight out with that dragon they've just got. Up the top, you can see Ari. Ari's not up top, it's Volibear, 91 to 88. So very even between the two. They've both got a kill on each other, and that is the bottom turret going down. So first turret of the game goes to Absolute Legends, and I still think they are in control of this game.
They're definitely in control. The only thing I have noticed is that Volibear tends to fall off later in the game, so I really should be able to beat her if she wasn't this far behind. But she's a whole level behind. That's pretty bad for her.
And what do you build with Aurelia these days? I mean, are you still Trinity Force Man, Frozen Mallet? I've seen you changing it up depending what you're against.
I pretty much build Trinity, Frozen Mallet, almost always one of those two. It depends on who I'm against. And then I get items after that depending on who I'm against again.
There goes the tower. He's popped his ult. He's going after Kevin. Yeah, he's wisely going to back away, though. He has no idea whether Restar and Maokai was heading up there. So that is 2 towers down. Meanwhile, down the bottom there, Candy Panda taking a hit from the tower. The tower almost down, 74 hit points on it, so that's going to go. Rammus is going looking. He has got that Oracle, so he has to be careful where he goes here, because he's going to go into a 2-man SK team who are sat ready and waiting. Oh, I think Maokai just showed himself there.
I risk killing Ocelot in the middle almost. Fire Spec not on, but Ocelot barely gets away with the invisibility thing. Or the clone thing.
Yeah, and he's down to 200 hit points, so very low Ocelot. Which means Ari, let's have a look. Yeah, he has the extra CS. He's stacked up double Dorans. Gone with Negatron Cloak as well to try and cancel off some of that burst that you get from LeBlanc. So Mercury Tread's probably going to come out. And now Wraith's being taken away by Anguish. And well, Malkio's going to see that and not be happy. Not a lot he can do about it though. Down the bottom, Candy Panda's jumping in. That's jumping straight in. I'm not too sure whether Rammus is going to be able to get in and try and pull him, try to bait him a little bit forward. Has got stunned very nicely by Nif. It won't be enough. Candy Panda will go down to Slepper there. And this game is quickly beginning to snowball. When you're at this stage, Wickd, what goes through your head as a team? It's like, other than rage. When you can see that you've just lost your 2 outer turrets, probably going to lose the mid one next. You know, you just think, right, we need to turtle up, group up, or just continue getting those guys farming.
Well, I have this problem. I can't really rage that I'm playing, mostly. Because I'm too concentrated, I just can't rage. So I don't really rage. What I'm just thinking is, guys, be defensive, stop dying, and just try to do something. And Ocelot's going down, he's getting hit, but he jumps away the double jump.
Just about as well. Actually, and you mentioned that, it is actually, listening to CLG, their comms is probably the calmest comms of the teams out there. Is that something that you guys purposely work on?
Well, I don't think it's something we work on. Like, the only one who gets mad sometimes in our team, or the only 2 that can get mad, I think, is Froggen and Creeper. The others of us are so calm that it's like a dog. If you got mad dogs in a team, they're all going to whine and yell and so on. But if you got calm dogs, they won't do it. It's just normal.
Yeah. So it looks like AL are going to start stacking up for the mid there. Oh, the Ash Arrow going across. Obviously the comms going out there. Candy Panda must have warned him. Ocelot did back away. Ocelot could get caught out here by Rammus though. He's coming around the side. Will he be able to spin up? Ah, he's gone straight into a ward. So he's going to be wisely getting away from that one. And it's looking like the mid turret's going to go down. I mean, is this a normal tactic that you guys go with? I know TSM are kind of always do this. It's almost natural that they'll go top, middle, bottom straight away, or whichever one working out. They won't push straight in for an inner. It's just take away as much clearance as they can, as much vision that they've got.
Well, it's really hard to push through towers. Like, the second towers, you can never get them barely. Or, of course, you can get them at some point, but it's so hard to get them that you just want to take one tower at a time that's easy to get. And the outer towers are always so easy because, well, they're just out there. You don't have to risk to get there or anything.
And how do you stand on the early oracles? It's something that Snoopy does pretty much all the time at around about 6 minute mark, I've noticed, and he's so good at actually not dying. In fact, he got away with, I think we worked it out, it's like he had it for about 70 minutes, I think, the oracle over the 2 games combined, before he actually died. It's something that...
This dive on bottom, Candy Panda just killed the tower, and they're going on Ashy, and Ashy's going down to Candy Panda. They're going to keep going on the Janna. Janna is very low, but she flashes away and survives pretty easily.
Yeah, got out of that one very nicely. But yeah, back to the Oracle.
I think the Oracle thing that our team is, it's really easy for Snoopy as well to get an Oracle, because me and Froggen and like bottom lane mostly never lose their lane. They're mostly equal or ahead. Mid lane, we're mostly winning our lanes, and that just gives Snoopy so much room because he doesn't need to gank all the time.
Right,
and
so
that's one of the reasons we can just get an Oracle.
it's
And
purely down
Miller's
to the
picking up
team
a
playing well. Extinct's going to get dived on. Maokai getting straight in there. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this one. Actually, he does. Goes aggressive. Ramos comes in. Taunts onto Ocelot. Very nice. Will he be able to finish off? The Ash Arrow is going to just about miss him by a whisker. But Ramos thought about diving wisely. Backs out because Ocelot, Kevin, and Nif all coming back. That's worked out very much in their favour. And did I just see Angus dancing there? Yeah, he is, yeah.
You did indeed. Angus is dancing and chilling. And Kenny might get caught off, but he just jumps away. They're going to go for the dragon here. I don't think SK can even fight for it, because they don't have the enter team. Oslo's dead. They don't have enough power to fight for it.
Yeah, Angus could, of course, catch out Nif again there. Oh, double warding. So, classic case. Angus is going to go in. He does manage to catch Nif this time. I don't think the team's going to react, though. Howling Gale goes across, tries to interrupt him. Meanwhile, they're still continuing to take that dragon. Slepper just needs to get one more shot on it. He will do. They have the dragon. Now it's going to be Extinct. Having to get out of that one. Extinct will go down now. Suddenly, Absolute Legends in all sorts of trouble. Ramos is suddenly realising he shouldn't be the target. I don't know why they're going for him. Meanwhile, Slepper's actually going to get popped by Ocelot because he just came in support there. And despite losing the dragon, that actually went very much in SK's favour. I think it was a 4-1 there. That's a huge win.
It was a 4-0. The problem was that Angus just over-aggressive. Like, he had no reason to go out there, and he just did it. SK could either decide to try bound or just get free towers, and they go for the safe choice and just get the towers. While Aurelius moved towards top just to try and push as many towers as possible, because they won't be able to help much mid anyway. They got the tower and they won't get more anyway.
Okay, and what are the discussions like in a team when that goes so badly? I noticed it the other day when you guys were playing Absolute Legends that there was a lot of pings going on around the map after the fight. Was that just a simple case of, oh, we should have done this and this and this?
I almost...
Oh, the arrow's just caught onto Maokai. Maokai's surely going to go down here. Angus is going to finish him off. Question is, they will not be able to catch on to Ocelot, and that's immediately prevented any attempt to Baron, which I don't think they were going to do. But I think AL may... No, they're just going to bait for it. I don't think they'll go for it.
They will actually go for it. And do they have water? They don't even have water. This is very dangerous.
They just cleared it. Yeah, they just got the Oracle clear it, and they're going to clear out that one. I'm not too sure if they've got enough, because you can see Nif's going to come around the side there. Kevin also going to come in. Let's just see where the Candy Panda goes dangerous. In. They're actually pretty low, though. Candy Panda and Kevin both pretty low. Oh, Candy Panda just gets popped there. Immediately, Ocelot tries to dash away, but Angus is straight onto him. Nif, in the meantime, has been split apart from the team. Whether Extinct's going to be able to chase down Ocelot, I don't think so. Just takes down the mirror, and that now will probably be a Baron for Absolute Legends.
I think the reasoning behind why they wanted to fight so badly was because Kenny had so low mana, and just the SK team in general. They were low on mana, they had a lot of health, but they didn't have the mana to really fight. Kenny didn't have any mana to use his abilities, and Tarek neither, so they couldn't really win a fight with that. Right now they have to be very careful because Marke can always steal, and Maluna's almost dead.
Take it down very low. The question is whether Angus can get in on 21. No, he's had to back away, but it has forced them to prevent stopping on the Baron. So yeah, they've had to back away. They didn't finish off Baron. They had to peel off. So technically, SK actually came out quite well in that, despite the fact they gave up a lot of gold in those kills.
They gave up 3 kills and an Oracle. I don't think you can say they got quite well, but at least they didn't lose the Baron.
Well, it would have effectively been game over, I think, if they'd have lost that Baron. That's the what I'm getting at. They're still technically in the game. Red buff's going to go to Kevin.
True.
So let's have a look at Kevin's build right now. Oh, the Ash Arrow just coming through, and he dodged straight out of the way there. He could actually catch out Kevin here. He's got no mana, so he's not going to be able to do anything about it. Has he got flash available? No, he doesn't. He's in all sorts of trouble, though. Howling Gale will go across and prevent him, stun him as much as they can. Nif comes in, tries to land that stun again, but it is going to be a dead Kevin. So the red buff, despite the fact it was just taken, goes straight back to Volibear.
Well, that's one good thing about SK. Like, if you get behind, you should never get scared. I think it's good that they go off the red buff and they don't pay a big price for it either. Okay, they lose the red buff, they lose a guy, and it was a bad move. But overall, that just shows they're not too scared to make their moves, and that's a good thing. And that means they're still in the game.
Angus being very aggressive now on Volibear. Obviously feeling pretty confident. Has got that Frozen Heart built up with the Wriggles. So tanky with damage. Looking across the builds. Is there anything particular that's standing out on the builds at the moment? It's looks fairly common across a lot of them at the moment.
It's really common. It's all the standard builds, and they're setting up for a fight here for the blue buff. The dragon is going to spawn in 2 minutes, so it's not yet.
Yeah, so the blue buff does spawn, and an Absolute Legends do back out of it. Anguish is going in, but he's going straight over a ward, so he's going to walk headlong into Candy Panda because he's got a ward of his own in there. He's going very aggressive and going to try and draw away all the fire towards him. I'm not too sure if it's enough. Absolute Legends now stacked up the other side and using the monsoon of Janna to push them away from Anguish and saving the day. They took away the blue as well in amongst that, so very nicely done. Unfortunately, Extinct's managed to somehow split himself across from the team. I'm not too sure how he managed to find his way up here, and surely I don't think he's going to escape from this one. It will be a very dead Anguish, and that's a pretty harsh exchange for a blue.
That's true. One thing that I noticed Extinct did, just before he died, he actually used his flash, and that's a thing a lot of pro players do. They're like, oh my god, I'm dying, use my flash. But in situations like this, it's really stupid to use the flash, but it's just a reflex because you're like, oh, flash autosave invincibility key, you know, and you just click it to try and get away. Almost every pro does it from time to time, and it's just a stupid thing that most pros do.
Yeah, because there's no chance you're ever going to actually get out of the situation, so you've effectively just wasted that skill.
Yep, pretty much.
So let's have a look down the board. Let's see what we got. So Tristana versus Ashe is fairly even. Candy Panda with a slight CS advantage. He's gone with the Bloodthirster and Phantom Dancer as opposed to Infinity Edge. I'm just going to see where that arrow's going to go in. Oh, and he flashed, and he actually happened to flash in the direction of the arrow. Immediately gets taunted out there, and they're going to go target straight on towards Maokai. Maokai will surely go down. He's trying to get as much heals, obviously, from the ability power being used. Tristana jumps straight in there. I'm not too sure it's going to be enough. It's actually going to get flipped out. Nif taken down very low as well. Will get taken down by Slepper, and amongst right is Slepper doing stud right in a lot of it. Extinct happens to respawn, gets back perfectly in time. Ocelot has had to back out, and he's just going to have to leave Kevin. Kevin using that flash will just about get away, and this time using it in the right circumstances, and that is surely going to give AL the tower. I don't think they're going to be able to defend that one.
That was such a perfect fight for them because SK just couldn't do anything. They weren't grouped or anything, and they just died for start. Then Angus goes down to Ocelot almost, gets stunned, but he barely survives. Ocelot is very low, he's getting chased down, and he jumps back into them.
I tried to get the kill on Angus here. I'm not too sure if that was going to be worth it. I think he could have got away. I'm not too sure whether Extinct had another dash on him. Surely Angus, though, has to just about escape there from Maokai. So as it is at the moment, 14-9, very much in Absolute Legends' favour. What would you do as a team, stacking up now and thinking, do we quickly try and leg it and get a Baron while they've backed off?
Right now, I would probably just make Ashe rush for the dragon just to try and stop them from getting it. They know that the dragon is up. They probably timed it. It had been up for around a minute now. So they should actually have coordinated that better and backed earlier so they could have gotten this Drake. They just greeded a bit, and they lose with Drake because they stayed around for too long, except if Rammus is fast and gets in and steals it.
Oh, nearly.
I'm not sure who got that.
Oh, and Maokai actually having to use his dash straight through. It's one of those things you can go for a long distance, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this one. He has got a bit of support, and the Monsoon and Ash Arrow goes flashing past, but it's going to be caught out. He actually tried to powerball away from there, but Aurelia dashed straight onto him, which obviously stunned him, which wasn't really the case. Anguish is going to go out and try and pick off Nif and say, okay, we'll take one of yours. Not really in the right situation, hasn't got anyone away, and that's actually handing the game back to SK. That was a bit of a crazy move there. And Slepper also actually going to get caught out. Ocelot will pick that one up. Wow, this is going snowballing towards SK's favour. Extinct is surely going to get caught out here. Tower dived. I don't think he's going to be able to escape it. He does charm on towards Kevin there, but again, it's going to be going down. And that's just 4 kills back to back to back. They've just fed straight back to SK. That is insane.
4 kills, a dragon and a Rogle. That's just too much to give away at this point. That's a huge fuck up. That's just basically saying, SK, if you want to have a long game against you guys, please, we give you a comeback. The blue buff is up, so I think that AL will try and rush for that. They need to start getting some buffs and just start getting a proper fight.
So the Baron now out the picture, technically, for at least a minute, until they finally sort themselves out. Anything particular across the board now? Let's have a look. We've got Frozen Heart now on Aurelia. So we went Frozen rather than Trinity Force. Stacking up, is he going for an Atmos there? Looks like it is, possibly. You can see that actually he's going pretty much identical build to Volibear, which Volibear's already ahead with that Atmos. Has got a couple of kills, so he's 5-3-7s with those assists. A lot of pings going across the map at the moment. It's actually Absolute Legends doing it all. I think they just purely want to clear out all these wards, and there is a stack of wards in the river at the moment.
Right now, Ale is just getting the Baron control, because if you have a Baron control, you already have an advantage in the fight, because they have so many wards in the Baron. You can see they have wards in the bushes and so on. If you clean all SK's wards, then SK goes in, it will be blind area. Like, SK have a CV, but once that's over, Ale can use all the bushes to their advantage, and they just want to clean it up so they have that advantage. But they're a bit afraid, because they're just like, well, SK doesn't see the Baron, we just wait in this bush and bait them. Try to get a free kill.
And the thing is that SK don't actually have an Oracle at the moment. They only have those two pink wards that Nif has got on him. So they've got no chance of clearing out this massive stack of wards that Absolute Legends are starting to place down. And meanwhile, Maluna is just clearing them all out quite happily. So it's going quite badly for SK, despite the fact that they just pick up those 4 kills. And again, Ocelot has started to actually get himself a little bit fed, but not quite enough to be able to go in and just pop someone, one-shot them. Oh, Maokai's getting caught out here again. Ash manages to catch a bunch of shots on him, and he's immediately going to get stunned up. This is going very badly wrong already for SK, because Maluna's got straight in. That's 2 down as well. Ash picking up another kill there. That would be Tristana blowing them all backwards and doing the best to try and save them there. Monsoon used by Janna, and that's going to try and save him. Kevin trying to finish off Slepper, but the heal comes through, and that caught him out. It's so often that heal will catch people out. And wow, that has just handed the game straight back to Absolute Legends. They'll turn around and go straight for Baron.
Yeah, that's probably true. Marka was out of position. He couldn't do anything. The second he was caught by an Ashy, that's the thing against Ashy. If you stop being grouped, like, you have to be grouped as a pack all the time, because one arrow, you're screwed. That's why Ashy is so good. Like, she's weaker than all other AD carries in damage, but she's so good, and also gets caught. They're going for Angus.
Oh, Candy Panda actually manages to get a kill in there, but Angus will manage to take it off. And Slepper suddenly realises, oh, I can't tank it. I have to get the hell out of here. Angus is going to have to go back in. It did reset a little bit. Ocelot's still trying to hang around and try and delay them as much as possible till Maokai and Tarek get back in there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They can see him. Has to dodge out of the way. That Howling Gale comes in. Will not get the steal, unfortunately, and will get taken straight down. And feeding Slepper another kill, who's now got that Infinity Edge, got that Phantom Dancer, and well, that's got to be nearly close to GG. It's very hard for SK to come back from this one, unless Absolute Legends make a balls up like they did earlier.
Yeah, that's true. The only funny thing is that Sleeper could actually have died. Baron critted her once, but if he critted twice, she would have been dead there, and they would not have been able to get that Baron. I really think that Riot should fix all this RNG, because it's just weird.
Yeah, well, they took it down a little bit with the crit shots, the runes, haven't they, etc. But it's still I remember you talking about it on State of the League, saying you're always going to run one random crit rune just for that off chance.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to do that in tournaments. Just run a crit rune, because if I get a lucky crit, I win my lane, and then I can be like, well, I won my lane. I'm not a good player, but I won my lane.
I'm not a good player, he says, as he plays in one of the top European teams right now. But yeah, obviously it's all about the random number generator can be a little harsh sometimes, and it's one of those things that I guess kind of every game of this sort of stuff just gets out. Candy Panda having to jump away from Angus there. Angus is really coming into his own at the moment. He's getting very aggressive. Has got looking like he's building up towards... Yeah, he's got the Atmos, the Giant's Bow. He's very tanky, doing a lot of damage as well. 6-3-10. It seems to be working out quite well for Volibear. What do you think of the Aurelia at the moment that Kevin's been playing?
They really got a standard item, but he hasn't been doing too bad. He got owned a bit early game, but there's not much he could do about that, because you also get ganked and so on. And overall, he's playing okay. He's not doing big mistakes or anything, but he's not making moves either. Like, he's not initiating and so on. But he's not doing anything bad. I think it's okay. Volibear, on the other hand, Angus, he keeps trying to make moves. He makes some stupid moves, but he also makes some really good moves. Like, for example, where he got almost his entire team killed because he went too aggressive. But that's something that can happen when you make those moves, because you always do a risk every time you make a move. But he always goes in and takes the risk
And the arrow goes straight in. That's going to land. Candy Panda will get taunted out here and surely get finished off. He will do. And they were baiting him out. Slepper was actually stood there in the red buff area trying to bait them towards it. And now they're going to pile in. Ocelot will go down as well. That's a 3-for-0 exchange. While the rest of them were completely caught out of position. The inhibitor almost certainly will go down. The question is, can they follow it straight through? Take that Nexus down? I think they possibly will do. GG here. So Absolute Legends look like they're going to be playing the Moscow 5 in the finals, which is... I don't think we've seen for a while, actually. It didn't happen in Kings of Europe, from what I can remember, and they've not played each other in the monthlies for quite a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen them play for quite a while either, but this game just shows why Ashe is so good and why everyone played her back in the days. All she needed was a small buff because with new mastery she couldn't survive in the lane, and now she got her small buff. She's going to be a really, really good top pick that's going to be used a lot again.
So, Absolute Legends go to the Moscow 5. Who do you think could take that one? I mean, the Moscow 5, you guys beat them in Kings of Europe the other day. They had in fact, you both had your little troll fun in the Go for LOL Weekly. I believe you were playing heroes that your fans were picking.
Yeah, we were just having fun. We were like, well, I'm tired and so on, and then we were like, whatever, let's have some fun, guys. It doesn't matter. This is just a Go for LOL. We just need fun. That's what's most important. And it's not a huge tournament, but we actually need to. Oh my god, we need to win this tournament. It's so important for us. So we're just having fun and letting the viewers have fun as well. And I think it's good for everyone.
Yeah, and it's not like you guys are not in a position to scrim a lot of the teams. You have your CLG US scrims every Tuesday and Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, we do have scrims against TLG every Tuesday and Thursday, but it's slacking a bit because we got a tournament, they got a tournament, then we got a tournament, and it's hard to get them all settled up. It's really hard.
Yeah, what do you think of the Americans getting a $20,000 tournament again?
Oh man, it's like I wish we could just play on the US server and be in the tournament. Like we even played against in CLG NA and we won most of our games against them, even though we play on the NA. So like I think we could compete over there.
Yeah, you could definitely go in there, but I mean, that's with the 200 ping. You mean when you played them?
Yeah, even with 200 ping.
Yeah, so it's a possibility, and it's when I saw it, I was just like, oh, okay, they're having another big tournament in America, and yet it's the same 8 teams always in it. At least with Europe, things have been changing up a lot lately. I think definitely over the last month, it's stepped up a lot in Europe. The skill level seems to have increased.
I think Europe have always been bigger than US. Like there have always been so many teams in Europe. But one thing that I dislike a bit is that US always gets big tournaments that is US only, and then Europe, it's always Europe and US. Like everyone can join European tournaments, and I think that's awesome. But I just think that the US should do the same. Like let us join, because why not? What do they lose from it? They don't lose anything as a tournament organizer to have Europeans compete in it.
Yeah, and I guess, well, then there always seem to be invites as well, invite-only tournaments, which, where do you stand on that? I mean, invites are good because you get to play less games and only against good games, but surely the open tournaments offer a bit more.
It depends. Like the invites can be good invites, but it can also be bad invites, and it's always biased in a way because it's not always the best teams that gets invited. It's mostly the teams that are the most known. For example, it doesn't hurt me that the most known team gets invited because my team would probably always get invited, but I think it's a bit unfair because it doesn't show pure skill.
Yeah, it just puts a lot of games in there, though. So, anyway, I guess that's it for me. I'm going to go back and actually play LOL rather than talk about it. And I'll let your viewers go back to watching you play LOL. Or is it the finals tonight? Are they doing the finals for tonight?
I'm actually not 100% sure if they'll do it because I think that because it's 1.5 hour late, SK asked if it could be delayed.
Yeah, and of course that the Moscow 5 are like 6 hours ahead or something crazy in Siberia in the morning.
Yeah, Gosu Pepper often plays till like 6 in the morning to play these tournaments. I actually think it's so unfair for him. How can he play at 6 in the morning and still play so good? I'm really fascinated about that.
I guess you just got used to it. I don't know. It's like you guys, you sometimes stream through the night and get used to it. So I mean, I always see TSM. Even when I go back, I'm at work at like 8 in the morning, and I see there's quite a lot of US guys still streaming, still on there. It's like, yeah, you guys are just going through the night.
Well, that's the thing, but still, being able to concentrate that much while being so tired is still another thing. Like, it's easy to solo queue. Like, In
Yeah.
solo queue, you can go brain FK. Some games you get carried, some games you actually get lucky and you do good because you just do the right plays and so on. But you don't have to play at your best in solo queue. But if you're really tired and you're playing a tournament and then you get a bit nervous, it's going to matter a lot, I think.
Yeah, and you're going to make big mistakes, especially if you're, say, a top lane or a mid lane. In fact, any position really, it's a lot of pressure on you. So anyway, thank you very much for inviting me on. I'll go back to